Welcome to allfreecrochet.com's learning channel. Come to our website for thousands of free patterns and inspiring ideas. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and our website to continue to receive free patterns and crafting deals. Your video host Mikey is now standing by to give you another free tutorial. And welcome back, everybody. In this tutorial we're going to do the bumbleberry Afghan pattern just like you see here. Now we've run other tutorials, so there's no point refilming those again. So there's going to be links put right here on the video on actually what you can do in order to put this thing together. So there will actually be 3 links. One is actually making the squares itself. 2 will actually be doing the half double crochet attaching method. And 3 is actually an idea on actually expanding your colors even further. Fall of 2011, I wanted something unique, something fun, something that speaks me, something that's original and unexpected. And I was thinking to myself, I want something different. And I was looking at this Bernat mosaic yarn, and this style is called Medusa, and I know it's called the Medusa because it's on the skew. Okay, so look for the skew, and there's a color swatch in knitting, but I'll tell you, that color swatch does no justice compared to what you can get out of here. So what I was looking at, I was thinking bumbleberry pie, I was thinking, the crust, I was thinking the berries, I was thinking the nice oven browns. In my case, I'd probably burn it a little bit, so I got a little bit of darker color in here too. And all of this is existing inside one yarn ball, and that is the Bernat mosaic yarn Medusa styling. What I decided to do different this time versus all the other times I've done is that I decided to make it a diagonal blanket instead of just a regular square. Again, I just wanted to do something really fun and different. Now when you're thinking of diagonal, my actual dimensions of this were 8 squares times 9 squares. And what you have to consider is that 2 rows equals 1. And how I'm going to explain that is that when you go to do the next square that attaches to this one, it's actually on an angle, and the next one is then over here. So in actual fact, whenever you're... So how much yarn is this bad boy going to take? And I'll tell you all the dimensions. We had 8 squares by 9 squares, which is a total of 5 feet by 5 feet approximately. And what you're going to have here is that you're having 128 different squares. So just by using the technique within the link of just being able to double up in your colors, you can actually really have a magnificent piece here that almost every square looks unique to itself. Now, it'll take you 11 balls just to do the squares alone, and the reason for that is that every ball will do 12 squares. So if you're actually looking at doing your 12, at the end you'll have a little bit of scrap yarn left over after every time you finish the 12th. And what I would recommend is that you leave that aside, don't use it, just put it on some other project, because you want the colors to transition, because chances are this color will not match the beginning of the next ball. So it'll take you 11 squares, or 11 balls just to do the squares alone. So for 128 squares, you will then need 3 balls just to do the seam work to attach everything together and to do one outside perimeter border for this Afghan. Time-wise, this Afghan took me about 2 weeks to complete. I was compulsive, I was obsessive, staying up to 1 in the morning. Once I got on a roll and saw the colors just transitioning so amazingly, I just became so self-addicted to this particular Afghan. It's probably the worst project I've had for trying to get off the hook. I'd go to bed, I'm like, oh, I really do want to get a couple more squares. Each square takes you about 9 minutes to complete, so you can think about the time associated to 128 squares. It was just an amazing project. I'm just so happy with it. Cost-wise, you're probably going to look at yourself around $100 just to make this Afghan, and you're thinking to yourself, $100? And you think to yourself, you know what, if you're going to do 128 squares and you're going to invest all that time, don't you want to step up your yarn a little bit and actually do something totally amazing? I've done other Afghans where I have went cheap on the yarn, and when I look at the effort that I would have done to do that, for an extra $2 a ball maybe, I could have got something that was even more spectacular just by spending the money up front. So when you look at it, for an extra 2 balls, when you times it by 14, for an extra $28 that it would have cost to increase my yarn, it would have been totally worth it in order for me not to have something that goes out of style so fast. So I look at this project and I'm so proud of it. I'm so amazed. I took it to a live show already, and people are just like, and I'm like having to close their mouths. The Bernat mosaic yarn, people were complaining that maybe it's a little thin. To me, I don't necessarily want a really heavy Afghan when I'm on the couch, because chances are I'm already wearing clothes. It's just for something for a lap can. It's just something that I really really love doing. This Afghan for me is going to be on display at the Creative Festival. It's just something that I want people to talk about. It's amazing to me. One style of yarn ball can do all of these amazing colors, and you know, it's something that I'm very proud of. So on behalf of allfreecrochet.com, I'm your host Mikey, celebrating my accomplishment of doing my Bumbleberry Pie Afghan, as you can see here.